Black coffee's good. Cheers, brothers, and the occasional sister joining us today on the Bro Chick Club. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to scoff this and have a talk to you. I don't know about what. We'll just make something up. Something will come out of this gob. Talk to you soon. Did you guys know you can eat dock? Like the small dock leaves? This size here. And actually quite good for you. Someone told me that the other day. I tried it. Not too bad. To me it's a weed that's in the garden. And what I'm doing today is I'm getting this garden ready to put some early season tomatoes in. So the old dock, as edible as it might be, can piss off out of this garden, because this is for passion fruit, which is growing right here beside me, and also tomatoes. And one thing about tomatoes, men, if you're listening to this, this is the Bro Chick Club, and so should be men listening to me. There's probably the odd lady listening, or woman, and that is that tomatoes, when they're cooked, contain lycopene. Now lycopene is scientifically, the science is out, it's been proven, it's one of the most potent things you'll get from a plant that will arrest and stop prostate cancer. There's a lot of tests done on that, and you can research it yourself. I wish I'd known that 10 years ago. I wish I'd known lots of things 10 years ago. Prostate cancer robbed a lot from me, and it robbed more than just bodily functions. It robbed people that I love too. Apparently they didn't love me back so much after I became less desirable. Cancer's got a habit of doing that. It strips you of so much. Some of you that are watching this right now will be facing battles of your own with cancer, and what I'll tell you is that there is life after cancer, and there's also life after heart disease. Heart disease can be reversed, diabetes type 2 can be reversed, and cancer can be halted. And what I used was creating a state of autophagy. I'm not going to dig that anymore because I'm going to bugger the roots of that plant there. It's enough clay. There's a fine line between tearing roots out and weeds, and also smacking the roots of the plants you're trying to grow. Diabetes type 2, absolutely reversible with the right diet and lifestyle. Same with even heart disease. If you've got heart disease, then you go and see your GP when you get crook, and then you go and see a cardiologist, and they put you on statins and they do procedures and all that. But if you're at that stage, then you're pretty well stuffed, like all your capillaries and vessels and arteries and veins. There's already a lot of damage going on in other places. So whilst you might stent one area or do some procedure here, somewhere else something's going to go wrong down the track. The causation is what's going to be. So I'm definitely not saying don't take your drugs or have your procedures, but also you've got to deal with the causation of the disease. And there's never just one thing, but again, the science is out there that a lot of our Western diet, and I've had a shocking diet, except for the last I changed my diet 5 years ago. Too little, too late, really. Well, maybe not, because at any age you can halt things and arrest things and then reverse them too. This talk today wasn't going to be about health and that. It was just about whatever came out into my head. That's what I was thinking at the time. I find that growing plants in the garden not only feeds my belly, but also my soul. I find it very, very grounding, and gives me time to get a bit of exercise, and it saves a lot of money, because I spend a lot of money on. I feed 2 people here. Well, actually, Damo, he provides his vegetables, although he's got a garden here, but it's not enough to sustain him. And I provide all his meat and fish. And the other day, he found an eel in the paddock, and that was a blessing, because he smoked that up. But eventually, we'd like to become self-reliant. It's not easy, because you're working all the time. And as you guys know that have gardens, gardening is about weeding. It's about doing this all bloody day, getting weeds out and prepping soil and adding good stuff to it and giving it lots of love, and then getting something back at the end of it which you can eat. But it's also the process of doing it. Very good for the mind, good for the body, it's a good exercise. You can't dig up stuff all day without getting your heart rate up. So if you've got a bit of space, you've got a bit of land, I really think that no dig method's really good. Here I'm digging away, but laying carpet down, or better still, a bit of cardboard, and there you go. This is what we did. You can't see it beside you, the ground's been dealt to by some carpet, and it stops all the grass and the weeds photosynthesizing and they die. And then you end up with this really good soil underneath where the microbiome, not the microbiome, the mycelium, that's all the fungus and mushroom which makes mushrooms, because the ground is alive underneath, it hasn't been disturbed, and it grows really good stuff after that. Last year I planted in here all sorts of stuff, and I've got a wheelbarrow here full of different stuff, chicken poo. I'm going to add some worm juice to it. I've got some compost, and I've got some silage down the paddock that I had it all sold to a bloke. Craig came up to get it, 5 bales, and Graham Tristan that did the silage, when he left me the bales, I said, can you leave me 5 for myself? They had holes in, and they must have been the ones that weren't that good, because the holes in, I didn't realise when the rain gets in it buggers it, so the silage has been sitting there for 2 years and the water's got in, so it's all gone to slushy stuff. But there was one that was still wrapped up okay, and I was selling for $100, and I said, look mate, you can have this. I gave it to him. I said, you come all this way for 5, I can't give you 5, there's only one that's good, it's a gift, take it away to make up for your time. So he took that, and I've got 4 there, but I thought maybe they would be really good to use as a mulch, or to put around plants and that, or as a compost, because there's a lot of matter in them, and the seeds are all dead because they've been cooking in the bales and drowning, and there's no plants growing out of them. And I thought it'd be really good to put around the topsoil. So I'm going to experiment with that, and I'm going to experiment with it right here in this patch where I am today. It's going to be the idea, and see if I can possibly use that as a mulch in the rest of my garden. But I want to do a small patch first, because I'm not sure, and I don't want to like create a whole lot of weeds in the ground, which it just might do. Oh man, there's so much of this twitch in the ground here. This stuff is just never ending. I can't get on top of it. I guess I'd have to spray to kill it, and I don't want to do that. There's a lot of twitch in the ground, heaps of it. Look at that, so much of it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a wheelbarrow with some early morning, some early season tomato plants I'm going to put in now. I've also got some extra soil I'm going to add to this, because we're already growing stuff in it. And I've got most of the weeds out, but that's continuous, and that's part of growing, I guess, is keep on top of the bloody weeds. Top of the bastards. Right, I'm going to go grab my new shiny shovel, spade, because somebody nicked my last one, and put that dirt in there and come back and finish this video off. The green bucket, that bucket there, and that's got lots of seaweed that I've been collecting over the last couple of years and broken down, and it takes about 6 months. That one's about a year old, and it stinks, but it's really good for growing this stuff, wasabi, and also I use it for tomatoes and that too. That's my new shiny spade, the old shiny spade, eh Clay? That's what they call the boys that grow the electric broccoli in the hills. Get around a brand new truck. Oh yeah mate, you got the new shiny spade, eh? Or new shiny shovel. Been out doing a bit of cultivating. When I bought my new Hilux, everybody said to me, oh, Clay's got the shiny spade. I've never ever grown dope commercially in my life, and not that I have a problem with anybody that does, but nah, I figured that you're mixing with too many of the wrong people trying to sell it. So keep my nose clean there. And I don't really like the idea of young people smoking huge amounts. Nothing wrong with a toke here and there if you're over 25 and your frontal cortex is already developed, but so many young people stuff themselves smoking the old electric broccoli, as you know. Bloody twitch coach. This is going to be interesting to see what happens when I put the other stuff on. I'll probably do it tomorrow, won't be today. Just getting the soil now worked a little bit. There's still going to be roots coming up, but I'm hopeful that putting a bit of mulch on is going to stop that happening. So there we go. There's been no hunting or fishing because The floods have stuffed everything. There's been sewage going out to sea, and the forest has been shut, so none of that for the boys. We've just been basically one day at a time working on the farm, doing the jobs that got to be done, and getting on with it. I've been doing pretty long days because I've been working on my big massive garden I'm building just down the front, and thoroughly enjoying it. I reckon that's enough for that. A few weeds in there. So if you are struggling with anything, you're a brother out there struggling, if you're finding it hard to reach out and get help, just to make that initial move and making your life better, one of the things you can do is start a garden, just so you're actually doing something that's productive. So at the end of the day, no matter how much you're suffering with whatever it is you're suffering, you can say, well, hey, I did achieve something today. Today I planted some cabbages, or today I set up a bed. Tomorrow I can put some veggies in where I can have my own broccoli and cauliflower. I don't have to buy it. Courgette's a great thing to grow. In the summertime, that's a plant that keeps on producing and producing. So down the track, you'll actually have something to show for, rather than wasting your days when it's so difficult just to talk to people or get out and do something. You can be productive still, and that way all is not lost. And it's good for your mental health. It's also good for your physical health. The hardest thing I think would be the motivation of doing that, but I really encourage you to motivate yourself to get out and do something like gardening. And you don't even need to have land like I've got. You might be renting a place somewhere. You can make yourself a little portable garden. You might get an old muscle boy and cut that up and put it on a stand, put some draining holes in the bottom of it, and plant your own herbs. So next time you cook up a nice big steak, you go out and get your own rosemary and thyme, or a big fat worm in there. And this way here, it's good for you. It's good for you. It's good for you in so many ways. A lot of wellness from young men that I help, often they have either self-hate or self-loathing or guilt and things from the past, and to some degree we all suffer these emotions, but some people it's so debilitating and so self-deprecating, so self-destructive that they become no good to themselves or the world. And if you're in that category, remember that us men, it's important not only for us to be good men, but also to be good men to those around us, to be useful, to be of service, to be helpful. And if we're sick, if we're thinking bad thoughts or having bad intentions or being dishonest or unfaithful to our partners, our wives, or doing all these things that are going to lead to destruction of relationships or destruction of ourselves, we can no longer be in a good, fit, healthy state to serve those around us that need us. And as men, it's our job to step up and do this. I'm very proactive at trying to keep well. I don't keep very well because I led a very, very unhealthy existence when I was younger. I'm trying to make up that now, but it's really, sometimes I think it's going to be okay, and other times I wonder if it's too little too late. But regardless, keep on fighting the good battles, my motto, right to the bitter end. Things will come along and knock you. Loss is always going to be there. People you love are going to die on you. They're going to walk out on you. They're going to leave you. They're going to abandon you in your hour of need sometimes. But as a man, it's really important to be responsible for yourself. Don't rely on other people all the time. And I found a yam in here, look. This is where the yams were grown. We yam. I don't want yams growing in here, so I'll go through that and make sure there's none in there. I think we've got enough soil now to start putting some tomatoes in here. Got another helicopter flying over again. Looks like a Jet Ranger again. So the garden is a really, really good place. And I watched a video, the Ruahine hunter, Joe, good bastard, came down and stayed with me a while ago, well, a few years ago now. Yeah, Jet Ranger. And he said to me that he really enjoyed, he did a video on it actually, we talked about it, but he grew bonsai, a tiny little plant And at the time I thought, you know, that's a plant you can't eat. Seems pretty useless to me. I didn't say anything. Now I realise how stupid I was and how ignorant my thinking was. Although I did always like bonsais, but still kind of thought, well, you know, you got to get something back from the plant. Of course, the biggest thing you get back from a bonsai, it feeds your soul. You've got this beautiful little mini tree. It's awesome to look at. So my whole thinking on plants has completely changed now. They bring joy. And whilst we're all out there trying to, you know, have that big flash truck or that big flash home or that big flash boat, working our asses off, what we do is in the process is we stuff ourselves and we miss the main thing. It's about having little moments of joy every day, little moments of feeling love and happiness and peace. Well, you get that from the simplest things, like making a bonsai plant. Or, man, that smells cool. Smelling a wasabi plant. Stop to smell the roses, but we just don't, as men, we don't get encouraged to do this. It's supposed to be something that women do, is enjoy flowers, not men. If you enjoy flowers, you might be a poofter, you know. Can we even say that word anymore? I don't know if we can. But it's stupid. I get a lot of joy from plants, heaps. I love eating them, but also love looking at them too. So that's my spin on plants. I'm going to grab some of these guys here. What do we got? What do we got? I think I have more than that. I've lost one. I'll find it somewhere. These are my tomatoes. And I've got some acid-free ones. These guys here are Dynamo. Dynamo. Now, normally I'd put some water on those. They come out easier. I'll just see if they come out alright without the water. Oh yeah, that's alright, eh? There's our first little Dynamo. Gonna smack him in the ground up here. What I'll do is I'll take them all out and then put them in one hit. Gonna put them down here. And this is gonna be the first tomato I've grown this year. And it won't be the last either, because I like tomatoes. Right, I'm going to carry on planting them there. He's in the ground, simple. I'm going to stake them. I don't think the birds will hammer those. And then I'm going to go and do some work. When I've done that, I'm going to put the big net over my great big garden. The one that's down here. You can see past the clothesline, the frame down there. I'll put the wires up. I've got the frame up yesterday. I've been working that all week by myself, and I'm really stoked with it. Actually, it's done. It's ready to start netting, but going to plant these tomatoes. Hey brothers, hope this one finds you all well. Bit of a rave while I'm in the garden, nothing flash. This is the Bro Check Club. Check on a brother, check on yourself, check on making a garden if you're feeling a bit down. You'll enjoy it, it's good for you. It'll make you feel like you're achieving something. Once I've planted those, I'm going to put that green bucket of seaweed juice all over it, and then I'm going to put some worm juice, and I might sprinkle a little bit of fert maybe too. Actually, might have some more coffee. Coffee's still hot. This looks pretty hot still. Put you down there. This is a little bucket that's made out of, I made this out of, well, I didn't make the bucket. The bucket's actually, it's galvanised tin, which you're not supposed to burn, but I lined it with clay, because we all know clay is bloody good. And I just have it outside going all the time, keeps the coffee hot while I'm working. And we'll have another coffee. This is actually decaf. I've gone decaf. That's done now. Hey, you have a good one. And thank you very much for being subscribed to the Bro Check Club. It's good to have you on board. We're on our wee channel. Just blokes sharing information. See you in the next one. Go steady. See you later.